This is really a talk, a very brief talk on the soft skills that software developers need to have and why they're important. So I'm going to assume that everybody in this room is amazing at sitting down and writing beautiful, tested code that just works out of the box, is super robust, is super efficient. Well done. I'm like that too. Laughter in the room whenever I say that, that's interesting. But one of those skills that I think is super important for anybody who develops software is communication. If you think about the people you have to talk to get a great result, because a great result isn't just something that works, it's something that actually fulfills a brief. The most important thing that we do is if you think about your job, not just as coding, but as solving problems. So if you do something that's brilliantly developed, but you misunderstood the brief, that's bad. So I think that as developers, we have a broader skill set than purely coding, and that's something we should recognise. And one of those things that's broader is communication with each other, communication with customers. I don't have any idea how you improve that if that's not you, which is unfortunate. Maybe next time I'll have some ideas. The next thing then is about working in a team. You know what, nobody is an island, and we don't all have a brilliant skill set of everything involved in making something that is effective. I, for example, I can't design anything. I've got no taste. I mean, look at the state of this. No taste at all. But thankfully there are people in the room where I do my work who can design things. They can draw things up. They've got like a collection of leads for their mechanical pencils, and they can put together stuff that looks great, that is very, very usable, that doesn't look like a big, hairy software developer wrote it, which is nice. And I think we have to appreciate the skills of the people around us who help us write brilliant solutions. Leading on from that, I have learning, teaching, and curiosity. I'm probably preaching to the choir this evening because we're all here in our spare time doing some learning, doing some teaching, and satisfying our curiosity. But here's the thing, as Tim alluded to, our industry moves on very, very rapidly. So if you look especially at PHP, over the last few years, the stuff that you might have been doing in PHP 4, say, or PHP 5.0, compared with what you can do now in PHP 7, and the patterns that people were mainly employing back then with, you know, thing.php, other thing.php, are the old stuff compared to the new stuff is horrific. So if your skill set hasn't been updated since 2007, 2008, 2006, you need to fix that. And the only way to do that is by being constantly curious, by constantly trying to learn new things. And you know what, you're never going to catch it all, but it's important to have that right attitude. I've been interviewing some people the last couple of days for a placement position, and one of the questions that I've asked is, what do you hope to learn next? I'm going to let you in on a little secret, because I've got no more interviews this year. I don't actually care what the answer is. I care about the volume of that answer, not the actual ins and outs of it, because all I'm looking for then is somebody who's actually excited to be working in this industry. This industry is amazing. And a natural curiosity is actually as important to me as somebody who's looking potentially to bring people in as actual knowledge, because curiosity plus time equals knowledge. Time plus knowledge without curiosity equals less knowledge or less relevant knowledge. So give me somebody who's curious and who wants to learn. The final thing is honesty. I know what it's like to you screw something up, you've made a mistake, and straight away you've got a choice. You can try and fluff that, you can try and sort of maybe pretend it wasn't you. Well, you shouldn't be able to do that anymore yet anyway, in terms of code. We're all using Git, right? Good. Maybe you try to fluff it. So when will that be due? Oh yeah, it'll be due tomorrow. And something goes wrong and you make a mistake. You've got to own up to that. Because sooner or later you've got to get caught out. And I don't know about you, but I would rather be caught out having made an honest mistake and do my best to put it right than, yeah, well done. I try to be less honest with my way out of that. And that's not just about being honest and if you mess up. There's a certain thing with potentially customers, and you got to tell them something maybe they don't want to hear about. Well, if you do this, then it's got these consequences which are negative. Over time, you build relationships with your customers, with your co-workers, and those relationships only really thrive on honesty. If you're less than honest, you will be found out. So be honest. And I'll tell you what else, the final thing really is, coding's amazing. Being able to write code that produces great software is an amazing thing. Not everybody can do it. We're a privileged group. But if you add this stuff to it, please understand that there's a very small percentage of people who write great code, who communicate well, who can do all those things. So seek those opportunities out. So for example, yes, contribute to pull requests, document things, and as you learn and grow, you'll be a better developer as a result of those soft skills. That's really it. At some stage I might pad that out and put a point in the end, but today is not that day. Thank you.